What's up, Wayne Barron here with DarkEffects.net, and we are inside of Adobe After Effects, and this is what we're going to be doing today. As you can see, we got ourselves a medieval room, and one ticked off wizard just threw in a fireball and exploded everything. So if you was in this room, I'm sorry, but you're gone. Alright, so anyway, this is what we're going to be creating, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Create a new composition. We're going to name this Fireball. And we got it set at 5 seconds, 900 by 690, and the only reason why I chose that is because of the size of our picture. And 24 frames a second, click OK. Alright, so the first thing we want to do here is we want to add in a new solid. So let's go ahead and add in a solid. Call this Fire. It doesn't really matter the color. Come over here with our solid selected, choose the pen tool. So first thing we want to do is that we want to draw us a shape of some sort. Okay, so with our pen tool, our shape created, let's go ahead and drop it down to our mask, and we want to come out to about here. And now let's go ahead and move that one out to about right there, create another keyframe. Now let's go ahead and choose that. Let's make it smaller. You can come in here, you can fine tune it, you can add in as many anchor points as you need to add. And so basically what we're going to do is we're just going to make this smaller than what it originally was. Okay, so that is good enough, ain't it? So then it comes out and does something like that right there. Okay, so now let's come out to here, select it again. Now what we want to do is just want to make it bigger as time goes on. So let's come over here to our 2-second mark and sort of drag it out some. You come in here and you can add in your anchor points. You can give it some sharpness. Then come over here to our 3-second mark, make it bigger. And then to our 4-second mark, and once again stretch it out. You don't really want to cover up the entire frame. Now unless that's what you're going after. I mean, if that's what you're going after, then make it as big or oversized as possible. So that's going to come out. So let's bring that in just a little bit. That is just the outside of our frame here. And then bring that to the 5-second mark. It's definitely best to have a picture that doesn't stop you from completing. So that is what our fire blob is what it is right now is going to look like. Okay, so let's go ahead and save it, and then let's come over here to our that's our original, and this is our lesson. Let's go ahead and take our fireball, drag it inside of our lesson here, and now all of our stuff will be put inside of here. So now with our fireball selected, come over here to Effect, Noise and Grain, and then choose Fractal Noise. Okay, and we're going to do the following settings. We can come right down here to the bottom. Let's go up and go ahead and drop that in. Okay, so Fractal Noise. We want to come over here to our Transform, Scale, change this to 80, then come all the way here to the end, and then change this to 122.2. Okay, drag it back over to the beginning, and then we want to do our offset turbulence. This is set at 450, so let's go ahead and drag this all the way up, and we're going to set this at around 750. So then that will give it sort of like that. Next thing we want to do is go into Evolution and set it at 0, drag it all the way to the end, and then set this at 4. Come all the way to the beginning. Click on Evolution Options. We want to go ahead and set that to On, and leave our Cycle and Revolution to 1. Okay, so now the next thing we want is some colors. So let's go to Effect, Color Correction, Colorama. When we come down here to Output Cycle, we're going to choose Fire. And then, as you can see, we got us some fire going on here. Okay, and so make sure our layer is selected, choose Effect, Stylize, whoops, where you at? Roughen Edges. Okay, so let's come down here to our Roughen Edges. We want our border to be about 75, and we want our scale. Let's move this over here, click Scale, 80, and then move all the way to the end. Let's change this to 200. And now our offset turbulence, hold down Alt key, and then click on Offset Turbulence, and it brings up this. I want to type in bracket, do 0 time star minus 100 in bracket. And then that is going to give us this. Okay, now from our edge type, roughness, let's come down here and choose spiky. That right there is going to give us this spiky look. And so that's basically what we're wanting right there. So then it just explodes out. Really cool. It actually looks like flames flowing from the sides. Okay, and then the very last thing we want to do is come here to Effect. Oops. Once again, let's choose our solid effect, blur and sharpen, fast blur, and we're going to leave this at about 2. And then therefore we get something like this. Okay, so that takes care of our fire. And so once again, let's save that, and then let's come over here, drag this over, and grab a hold of our image. And you can get this image from deviantart.com. It's just right here. And then we grab a hold of the image, drag it down, and then we have this. So first thing that we want to do is that we want to get rid of this white border. So with our image selected, this is called our room. With our room selected, go ahead and grab hold of the pen tool, click up here at the top, hold down the shift key, click the top, click the bottom, and right there. So now we've got this right here. Okay, so the next thing is that we want to make it so that we can have our fireball come in. So we need to make this into a 3D layer with our room selected, our pen tool selected, We want to come about up into here. So we're going to, let's come up to the top here. We're going to come right around here, and then there, and then let's zoom in some. Come all the way down here, zoom back out, use your scroll mouse to zoom in and out. Drag it down, hold down shift, come over here, here, and then there. So now choose our mask, and then we're going to come here, and it is our yellow mask. We want to choose subtract. Okay, that is going to subtract that part from our room. Now let's duplicate this one. This is room 2. We come over here, drop it down. Okay, with our room 2 selected, we want to come down here on its mask, and we want to select intersect. And then what that's going to do is that is going to select only our right side, and our left side is going to be selected here. So now we've got 2 different parts that we can work with. Okay, now let's come over here to our lessons and grab a hold of our fireball. Let's drop it right here in the middle. Let's come out, and then let's drag that, drag that. Okay, there we go. Now we've got our fireball. Okay, so let's make sure that it is also set as a 3D layer. And then grab a hold of the Z axis. Oops. Grab a hold of, make sure you got the fireball selected. Grab a hold of the Z axis and drag it up. Okay, so. Okay, now what we got to do is we got to make sure that our fireball is behind this wall and in front of this wall. So let's go ahead and hide our room 2 over here. So this right here is our side wall, and this is our room. So with our room selected, let's go ahead and bring it back inside of Z space. Hold down shift and drag, and it's going to bring it up like so. So that's about where we want it at. And then we can actually come in here now and get rid of our pink mask because it's no longer needed. And then we can do the same thing over here, get rid of this pink mask because it's no longer needed. Okay, so now we've got our fireball. So we need to get our fireball behind this wall. So let's go ahead and select this wall. Oops, that's actually our side wall. Grab a hold of it. Now let's go ahead and bring it up to here. Hold down shift key and then drag it down to there. So let's go ahead and also make our side wall okay, there you go, right there. So you want to try to line up these lines right here, and then that way you can actually make your wall into your wall again. And now with our fire layer selected, grab a hold of it and drag it in. So that's basically what it's going to look like. It's going to come in, it's behind the wall, then it's going to come in. Okay, so now let's come over here, drag it all the way to the beginning, and it becomes or starts to become a fireball up into there. So let's go ahead and position where we want it at, which is about up in here. Click on position, come back, drag it out of sight, and now whenever it comes in, it's going to do this. Let's go ahead and start dragging it over. And then let's go ahead and bring this forward some. And then there you go. So Whenever you bring it through, it starts to explode and catches your room on fire. So you got to come back here. You got to make sure that you set your fireball just right in front of the wall. That's annoying, ain't it? Let's go ahead and bring it all the way through. There it goes. So let's go ahead and get rid of them. You drag it forward. Any of it's pretty cool. You got your spiked flames right here that are coming off really nicely. So right here at the top, it actually looks like it's burning off. So it gives it a really cool effect. But anyway, y'all can play around with it, make the animation look a lot better than what we just did here. The first one came out better than the second one. That's usually how it works. I could sit here and I could play around with it all day long and make this lesson really long. And but anyway, I hope that this gives y'all something to play around with. It's not the best fireball in the world. Like I said, you can go in yonder and play around with it, do the details a lot, and then y'all can really make it into something really nice. Once again, I will have the link to this image right here in the description. Give kudos to Paginen for providing the image. And so, yeah, Wayne Barron here with darkeffects.net. Y'all have a rocking weekend. Bye-bye.